Okay, next, there's going to be an effects section. So you can put effects on any track. Effects are things like you might be familiar with, something like distortion. It looks like, well, they're all going to look different, but you know what distortion is probably. It's going to add some fuzz to the sound. We also have things like reverb, even auto tune. Those are all effects. We're just going to change the sound. Now it's important. Let me actually put one more thing on here just to demonstrate something here. It's important to remember when you're thinking about effects the idea of a signal flow. Signal flow means that there's always a path that the audio is going to go through your program. Okay? For me, and this is true in most programs, this is my effects section, and the audio is going to come in here and out here, and it's going to flow through these effects this way, right? That means that this effect is going to come before this effect, and that's important. There are cases when you want the effects in a certain order, and you can usually just kind of drag them around to reorder them, but it's important to remember that. In this case, what I have is distortion coming through and then reverb. So that reverb is going to be applied to the distorted signal. That should be okay, but maybe I want it the other way around. So we get reverb and then distortion, so that the reverbed sound, the kind of echo sound, has distortion on it as well. Both ways could work, but it's a decision I should make. There are other cases where the order of the effect is going to be more extreme. So it's just one thing to think about. Another thing to think about with the effects section is that this is where you're going to put plugins. Okay, so in some programs, they have separated audio effects and plugins into two separate categories. That's how Ableton does it. Sometimes they'll all be lumped together. But plugins are typically their own little program. You can think of plugins as a whole separate program, but they run inside of your DAW. And they do different audio effects, or they might be synthesizers or sound making things as well. So these are going to look very different than my effects that are built into the program. The effects built into the program are the things made by the program. But these things, like let's grab this guitar rig. So when I load up this guitar rig, it pops open a new window and it's a whole separate program. But my signal, my audio is still flowing in and out of that effect on either side. But it is its own really kind of program. I can close it and it'll still work. But plugins are made by other companies usually. You can find hundreds of millions of plugins around the internet. And some of them are cheap, some of them are free, some of them are expensive. It all depends on what you're looking for. We'll talk more about plugins later. But that's the effects section.